Welcome to this week's episode of The Men Are Talking. This week, we discuss our favorite movie scenes, movie lines, and I think you're going to be surprised at how many times Val Kilmer comes up. I know we were. So without further ado, enjoy the latest episode of The Men Are Talking. Hello everyone, welcome to this week's episode of The Men Are Talking. I'm Larry, and I am joined today by Bill.
Hello.
By Paul.
Hello.
By Michael.
Hey guys.
And, of course, Ferg.
What's up?
So tonight we're going to be discussing our favorite or least favorite or most memorable movie scenes or movie lines. We're going to be a little more freeform. We seem to enjoy that more.
Last week's episode on Friends went really well.
It's very free.
It did go very well, as everyone who listened to it will know. It went great.
It was awesome.
There were not a lot of editing. That is not why it was released late. Was because
was that our shortest episode?
One of my favorite movie lines. Not as far as you know.
I will let everyone know, all of our aspiring podcasters in the audience, let you guys know that if you do have to make a lot of edits to a podcast, start at the end. Because about halfway through, all of your time marks don't count anymore.
Oh, wow. Never thought of that.
No, important production tip.
Yes.
Lessons
learned. Yes. Also, for...
Larry learned that on the director's couch.
We like to say, that we're a collective and, we do the editing and we do the stuff, but yeah, everyone here knows the real story there.
There you go.
Bill, no jab about me not having a job.
No, you just edited
I
it out.
I was thinking it.
On another note, I don't know if I was supposed to mention this or not, but I was gonna kind of feel out the group. Might as well do it on air. Shelton the Younger would like to sit in for another podcast with us.
That would be
Awesome.
fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he hasn't said anything to me, but he keeps hinting it to my daughter. So she was like, "Hey, Dad."
Well, we currently have a seat open at the round table that's square.
Well, okay.
Why is that?
Well, all right. So,
'Cause
as everyone knows, UPC is a pilot.
Mm-hmm.
So he decided he was going to take off and go check out the Bermuda Triangle. Since it seems to be safe now, nobody's disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle in decades.
But he's an overachiever.
Well, yeah. So we haven't heard from him yet. I'm sure the Coast Guard's going to find him. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. I'm not worried about that at all.
No.
I know this has happened before in history. Was he cleared on instruments?
I didn't check. Turns out.
Too soon?
Turns out I don't work for the FAA, so it's not my job. As everyone knows. God, you people.
I actually have a new job this week. I am writing a screenplay. Dan Mintz gave me the idea that I could write a screenplay about Helen Keller having the ability to see dead people. It's called The Fourth Sense.
Very nice. Outstanding. Outstanding.
Oh. Oh. All right.
Can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
The cast is going to have a lot fewer problems with the paparazzi flashes on the red
And,
carpet.
and the subtitles will be work great for her.
It's not even gonna be. It's not even gonna be red carpet.
But Bill, is she gonna drive there?
No, she's a woman.
All right.
Oof, okay.
Let's get.
Well then,
Yeah. All right. All right. Just who wants to start first?
Well, real quick, I was going to write a screenplay about her being a basketball player, but every time you passed the ball to her, she tried to read it.
Oh my God, Lord.
And not that we're trying to cut Bill off.
I'm only trying to cut Bill off.
Go ahead, Paul. You start us off, since Mr.
Mr. Movie
Film
Man.
teacher. And,
Film noir.
yeah,
Something like
you
that.
got to have some.
So, one of my favorite.
Paul's mush mouth is brought to you by Triscuits.
Yes,
Tzatziki
sorry.
flavor.
My apologies.
Jiminy Click.
So, one of my all-time favorite movie lines comes from.
Paul's eyes are closed.
They are. Comes from Chinatown. And I may have mentioned this one before, I'm not sure, but
Is it Owl My Nose?
it's not, but that's a very twisted scene for a bunch of reasons. So the movie Chinatown's directed by Roman Polanski, who's got a lot of problems, but is a very good director.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking Big Trouble in Little China.
Entirely different theme.
Thank you for clearing that up.
100%. And there's a scene where the Jack Nicholson character, whose name is
Not the
Jake,
Jack Burton character.
not the Jack Burton character. No. Where he there's been a crime and he's trying to get into the crime scene, which is at a city municipality. But he has stolen. Jake has some cards from one of the officials, and so when he pulls up, a police officer, and Jake had been a police officer. When he pulls up, the guy says, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir," and he shows him this fake card. He says, "Well, I'm blah blah blah." And he says, "Oh, go right ahead." So he goes in, and then Jake gets out, and he starts to walk around, and he sees a former fellow police officer who's surprised to see him, and another cop objects, and the guy's, he's a lieutenant now, his name is Lou, who says, no, we can make an exception for Mr. Gittes. His name's Jake Gittes. And so they do, and they start to talk, and as they start to walk toward where the crime scene is, the lieutenant says, "So Jake, tell me, how did you get in here?" And he says, "Well, Lou, to tell you the truth, I lied a little." Which I think is perfect. It's fantastic. Yes, exactly. That's what you did. You lied a little. But there are lots of... Did you laugh at my lie?
I am now.
But there are lots of really great movie scenes and great movie lines. One of my favorites is really a misnomer. In Casablanca, no one actually ever says, "Play it again, Sam." "Play it again, Sam" is actually the name of a Woody Allen movie. Ingrid Bergman's character, Elsa, at one point says, play it, Sam, play it for me." And that's a really great and classic line. And then maybe my other favorite, maybe my ultimate favorite movie line is in The Godfather, when Clemenza tells the guy who just shot Paulie to leave the gun and decapitate the cannoli. Lots of people know that one, but yeah, I think it's pretty fantastic. And maybe my favorite movie scene, even though it's not fun, is from a movie called Ordinary People. And Ordinary People is a hard movie to watch because it deals with a tragedy. It was based on a book. It's the first movie Robert Redford directed. It didn't win Best Director or Best Picture. I'm sorry, it won Best Director and Best Picture, and it's the reason Raging Bull didn't win either one of those. But there's a scene where a mom and dad are taking pictures with the mom's parents and their son. And their other son, the older son, had died in an accident. And now mom and the remaining son don't get along. And they're trying to take pictures. And the dad wants to take a picture of mom and the son. And the mom doesn't want anything to do with it. And then ultimately the son says, Dad, just give her the goddamn camera, because he figures out his mom doesn't want to take a picture with him anymore, because the mom seems to be disappointed that the older son died and he didn't. And it's very messed up, but it's very well done, in part because the mom is played by Mary Tyler Moore, who in every other role she's ever done is a total sweetheart, but she plays in my little term, the perfect plastic woman in this movie, and it's totally harsh, but it's completely perfect. How bad it is. On that,
what's the name of the movie?
Ordinary People. Yeah, and it's very well done. It's Mary Tyler Moore. Judd Hirsch plays the psychiatrist. Timothy Hutton won an Academy Award. He plays the son, and Donald Sutherland plays the dad. And it's really well done. It is not fun, but it's extraordinarily well executed. Really good movie. And I may, as we go around, I may come up with something happier to describe, but that's one of my favorite movie scenes ever.
Yeah, thanks for starting us off on a
Right now, I feel like I'm at Churchill Downs.
Oh, God.
Too soon.
Oh, Lord.
Anyway.
Well, you're not done, Paul. I mean,
I got plenty. I got plenty more. No, if you want,
No, that was your first round.
Okay, no, that's right. I figured we were gonna go around the room.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic.
All right, Michael.
Okay, well, I have two lines from The Crow. It's one of my favorite movies.
Okay.
Great soundtrack, excellent action, great. Well,
No disagreements here.
unfortunately, would have been a fantastic actor that was gone to us too soon. Brandon Lee, if anyone's questioning.
Absolutely.
What we all know.
Well, for those who don't.
Oh,
The Crow.
for
Our younger friends.
Invisible listeners.
Oh no, yeah, we give you. Believe it or not, we have a bunch of 18 to 22s.
Okay.
Oh,
Right. So the first one I'm going to say is the joke that he says in the movie, and it's just one of my favorite ones, because he's sitting there, he comes through a window and he's talking to, I want to say, Fun Boy, and he goes into the bedroom and he sits there and he just goes in there and then he tells this joke, and the joke is, Jesus Christ walks into an inn, hands the innkeeper 3 nails, and says, "Can you put me up for the night?" And just the fact of what the movie was, just for that brief
Oh my gosh.
joke, just to provide the levity. I mean, it was a very violent movie, and just that little juxtaposition.
and it got very violent right after.
And it immediately violent right after. And the second line in the movie is very shortly after that scene, because Fun Boy is in the room with, I think, I want to...
Is that
Darla.
the character's name, Fun Boy?
Yeah, the character's name is Fun
Okay.
Boy. And he's in the bedroom with a lady named Darla, who happens to be the mother of one of the other characters in there. And he takes her into the bathroom, grabs her by the wrist, and holds her arm open. And it just got done shooting up probably heroin. And he's, sitting there holding her arm, and the heroin is coming out of her arm. He's forcing it out. And then he sits there and he goes, "Mother is the word for God on the lips of children. Drugs are bad for you." And I just was like,
Wow.
holy yeah, it was just like that scene.
Wow.
Going from the joke, violence, and that.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
I don't
bam, bam,
remember
bam.
that. Absolutely.
And so those are my favorite lines.
Yeah, those are great lines.
Oh, yeah.
For goodness sake.
And again, still one of my absolute favorite movies. The soundtrack is amazing. The next, the scene aspect of it, my favorite scene, comes from a movie. And I need a precursor to this real quick, though. I can forgive a lot of things in movies as long as they do one thing right. It could be a certain line, a scene, the way something's done. But in this instance, my favorite scene is actually from a movie called The Thin Red Line.
Okay.
It's a war movie. It's like 3 hours long. And the cinematography in this movie is just absolutely stellar.
Impeccable.
And this movie is, it's about war, so it's a very somber film. But they have these just camera angles and shots that are taken, and one of them is just a background. They're just showing the country that they're in and whatever, and it's just like just a scene with like the sun shining down through the leaves, and it's just very, very well done. The whole movie is cinematically beautiful. Just cinematography that is just on point. And then I realized that was the one thing I remember about the movie. It's just it was so done that well that I was like, oh yeah, who was in that movie? So then I looked up the cast, and I have it up because I need to tell you the cast, because for me to remember the scenes with the cast, because I'm a big actor guy too. But here's the cast, and I'm going to go through this as quick as I can because there's a lot.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Make sure you get the key grip.
It's crew, not cast.
Sorry.
So, Nick Nolte,
Not in a porno.
Jim Caviezel, Sean Penn, Adrian Brody, John Cusack, George Clooney, John C. Reilly, Woody Harrelson, John Travolta, Elias Koteas, Jared Leto.
Right?
Wow.
Stupid good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stupid
It was
good.
done in '98, and I'm just like, this is like such an ensemble cast.
Without question.
Heidi interrupts. Heidi interrupts.
Very exciting.
Oh, that time.
Very
Is
exciting.
this the first?
This portion of the show, Heidi Interrupts, is brought to you by Ambien.
No, there is no Ambien involved. Can I
Yeah.
ask you all, what is tonight's topic?
Tonight's topic is favorite, actually not favorite, most memorable movie lines, movie scenes. And feel free to expound.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Like this is
And,
just on the tip of your tongue.
Because
That
I
exposition.
am looking at Bill. Our family watched movies on a regular basis. And there are, alright, there's two that immediately come to mind. And I quote them, but tell the story frequently. About we went to the theater to see Homeward Bound, and both these movies I'm going to tell you about were in the 90s. But Homeward Bound is about these animals, and they get sidetracked. You all know the story. It's but
The story is old as time.
it's old as time, and they make their way back home. But there is a scene in the movie, and we're at the theater. There is a scene in the movie where the cat falls off the cliff. And the writer makes us feel as though the cat has died. And our daughter immediately starts bawling and crying and cannot enjoy. Her heart just aches and hurts.
We love
and
our children.
She cannot enjoy the rest of the movie. Even when the cat is reunited with his mates. Down the river, he fell into the river and survived and made it down there. And we kept saying, Alex, he's alive, he's alive. But her heart was still so broken, she couldn't move past it.
All right.
Love it.
The other
And by the way,
memorable-
I don't remember this.
You don't remember that?
I didn't. I thought we watched it at home. I had no
No,
idea.
we were at
But
the
Heidi and I
theater.
remember things differently.
Yes, you have a bad memory.
Oh yeah.
The other one
Oh,
I
that ain't
remember is Message in a Bottle.
I remember this.
This is 1999 with Kevin Costner, and oh, how I love Kevin Costner. So,
Really?
You looked this up.
so at the end of the movie, it is going to be a dramatic love scene. But, oh, I hope it's not a spoiler alert. It's not. But Kevin Costner dies.
No.
And-
What?
No.
Yeah.
I was gonna
No,
watch
he
that.
doesn't. No.
I wasn't.
He
No,
does.
no. Hang on. Time out for Tetley T. So in the movie, Kevin Costner's wife dies. He becomes a solitary man, and he's building a boat. And his dad is played by
Paul Newman.
no. Yes, maybe.
Yes.
Let's go with Paul Newman.
Yes.
And he's building a new boat, ship, whatever, and he doesn't want to love again because his love of his life died. And at the end of the movie, he falls in love with this girl. They finish building the boat together. They take it out on its maiden voyage. She's the one that goes overboard, not him.
It's him. And because
You're
his
thinking
dad,
of a Coast Guard guy,
no,
dude.
because his dad is standing there going,
36 years, folks.
and Bill is going, no, he better not die.
No,
He can't
no.
die.
I
Yes,
said, I ruined the movie for you
because-
because I said, I swear to God, if she fucking dies,
You
I will
said
be
it.
so pissed
He
off.
fucking dies.
Whoever
I
dies,
cannot
we'll
believe
Google
I
it.
swore on a podcast.
We'll have our
Edit
editors.
that out.
Oh, we will not.
We will not.
But
Wow.
This,
I'm telling
this
you,
Heidi Interrupts is brought to you by Connect Group.
The point of the story is,
but he,
I ruined it for her.
for sure, and it's Kevin Costner who dies, and it's his dad standing there crying, and that's when Bill goes, "Oh my God! If he's died." Kevin Costner goes overboard when he is trying to help another family during a storm, and their boat is capsizing. He's the one who dies. There was a message written that he meant to put in the bottle for his original wife.
There you go.
But the dad, at the end, gives it to the new girlfriend, and it's a message to her that has never been placed in the bottle, but he had written, and it was meant for Catherine. Catherine was the original wife, and the new girl, I can't remember her name. Sorry. Apologize to the writers. Larry, you can edit that in what the name was.
No, it's Teresa and Catherine.
Teresa and Catherine. Right,
Yes,
right,
no, and you're very good. And Paul Newman was the father,
right.
and Kevin Costner does die. And so
Okay.
this is one of the
No. This
it's one of the positive things about Heidi interrupting.
And
Yes.
you got to remember,
She's
Bill.
always right.
And remember, Bill, you watched it once. She's probably seen it 30 times.
Well,
So both of those movies are kind of romantic movies.
Yeah,
but
they're
they
chick
have-
flicks.
they
Homeward
have,
Bound or Pets,
The
but
thing that UPC Missing Presumed Dead doesn't like is nostalgia.
Correct.
And that's why those are Heidi's two movies, because one, it was so dear to our daughter. Two,
it
I
was,
ruined the movie.
it wasn't because you ruined it, it's because it was a love story. It was such a deep, moving love story, very much like
I've ruined plenty of love
The
stories.
English Patient, which you ruined for me.
Oh, yeah, the English patient. Yeah,
And
don't ruin that one for everybody.
Two,
Right.
Yeah.
As he's carrying her into the cave and says,
Oh.
all
Alright, Heidi,
Why
Heidi,
did
ho,
you
whoa,
hate
whoa, whoa,
me?
Heidi, ho,
and
Heidi,
she
Heidi,
says,
Heidi,
she says, I
Heidi.
never
Heidi
hated
ho.
you.
Heidi, the men are talking.
And she says, I never hated you. I've always loved you. And he's
Oh,
carrying
the
in
cat
her
needs
in there.
water. Heidi, the men are talking now. Okay.
Throw it in the river.
Okay.
Heidi.
All right.
Heidi.
Well, thank you, Heidi, for interrupting.
Yeah.
Applause,
Thank you,
applause
Heidi.
for your
Good night,
appearance.
Heidi.
Thanks for having me.
We love you. You're fantastic.
Well, it is your house.
Right. But I need to tell you,
Thanks for the Triscuits.
I need to tell you all that what is heartwarming, what's fun for me, I'm sitting in there doing work, and every once in a while I hear Larry laughing. Larry is good at laughing.
Larry has a,
I am good at
Larry
laughing.
is good at laughing.
Larry has a wonderful laugh. There's
yes.
no question.
Yes.
You are so lovely. Thank
yes. All right.
you. All right. Good night, lady.
You all have a good night.
You too.
Night.
Go
Night,
to work
Heidi.
in the morning. I
Thank
don't
you.
know if you all do, but
Larry
I
does.
do.
I don't.
I don't work. I teach college.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's not work.
He teaches people who work.
Right. Let me tell my daughter-in-law that.
No,
That's not work. That ain't no work.
don't say a word.
No.
Okay.
But please let him know if you do, so that he'll know not to.
Oh, that's
So-
Thanks
fantastic.
for letting me interrupt.
So,
100%.
so Jared, maybe not. Don't mention that to Jared.
Yeah, Jared. Ixnay on the Jared egg.
Okay, two brief points. The plot of Messages in the Bottle is very close to the plot of a movie called Intersection, where Richard Gere has been married to a gal played by, oh my gosh, what's her name?
Miley Cyrus.
No, not her, because she would have been 8 at the time.
Gerbil.
Maybe, no.
Sissy Spacek.
No,
Sally
it's-
Fields. Michelle Pfeiffer.
None of those.
Olivia Newton-John.
No, but I loved her in Xanadu. No, it's the gal. She was in Total Recall and Basic Instinct. What's her name? I can't believe I can't remember.
Sharon Stone.
There you go.
Ooh, I knew I'd get it.
He's been married to.
Spot on. Larry.
He's been,
Yeah. I know movies.
he's,
Oh, just write it on the inside of your eyelids.
I can't even respond. So he's been married to Sharon Stone, and she is beautiful as Sharon Stone is, and he is in love with her, and she seems to
That's good to
Kill
when they're
him.
married.
well, yeah.
Well, it helps.
Yeah.
But she seems to love him in more of an appreciative, practical sense than in a passionate way. And so he eventually decides that they can't stay together because it doesn't make sense to him. So then he takes up a relationship with another gal whose name I can't remember, and I'm looking. No, it's
Alicia Silverstone.
Lolita.
Topo
Lolita
Gigio.
who also would have been 8. But no, Lolita Davidovich, who is a really, I think, an outstanding and underrated actress and very pretty gal. And he's having some trouble wanting to commit because he's afraid of what happened previously. And then eventually, sorry, spoiler alert, this movie's 20-something years old, so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. But he makes a phone call to Lolita Davidovich. He's about to write a letter to his wife saying, maybe I want to get together. And he decides against that and calls his girlfriend and says, look, I want to be with you. I want everything. I know you want a child. This will be great. And then he gets in his car after leaving that message and drives away and then gets in an accident and passes away. But the letter is in the car. So his wife, who he's divorcing, gets the letter and seems to be reconciled. And then also Davidovich is under the
Why do
impression
you
that they're
stutter
reconciled.
every time you say her name?
Because I'm in love with her secretly.
And
Don't tell anyone.
Don't worry. We'll keep it just between
I
us.
think it's the 2 D's in her name, and anyone knows that if you see double D's, you kind of stutter a little bit.
Wait, whoa, hey, now. Hang on a second.
But did the animals make it home?
Yes.
No, absolutely. There were no animals
Wrong movie.
injured in the
Wrong
making
movie.
of
Sorry.
the film.
The animals did make it home.
Okay.
There you go. And,
All right.
yeah, so that's outstanding. And okay, one more because you mentioned the movie, just as an addendum.
I haven't seen that.
You probably won't until they add on and
I've
finish
seen
it.
the
But
It's
I've seen the duodenum
Well,
or
it's-
the duodenum, but
it's
oh, well, I'm sorry. you
well,
saw
it's in
that
the
one.
director's cut.
Oh, there you go. But you mentioned Thin Red Line,
Yeah.
and I just wanted to verify because you mentioned the cast, and Terrence Malick is the director of that.
Yes, he was the
And
director.
and Terrence Malick is one of those directors, kind of like he hadn't been as prolific early in his career as
there was an absence of Malick.
God, I'm not going to be able to remember anything. But Stanley Kubrick, we can talk about a lot of reasons people are good directors, and to me, he was a better visual and cinematographer type of director
Yes.
than anything else. And Malick is, I think, is at least that and plus some. And so he did some early things, and he's also a good writer and wrote some really good screenplays. But he made Days of Heaven in '78, which is incredibly gorgeous. If you've not seen Days of Heaven, it is worth just watching it for how pretty it is. And then
Is
he
that the
did.
sequel to Heaven Can Wait?
It is not.
Wait, what's the black and white movie you show me that's similar to City of Angels?
Wings of Desire.
Okay, totally
Yes,
different.
absolutely. But it's a German. That's Wim Wenders. It's a German film.
All right,
I was going to go with Dead
It's
Man
probably.
Black.
Hang on, I will come back. It's
wait,
probably Wim Wenders. What's when you say your best thing? Not piece de resistance.
No, that would be it.
Magnum opus. kind
Okay,
of, yeah.
but we already did Men on Film.
Correct. I'm sorry. All right. Well, I just want to say Malick is quite amazing visually, and he directed that, and that's a great thing.
So you're saying he's a handsome man?
Michael,
I have a question for the group because it was mentioned twice, and just curiosity. When is the spoiler alert not necessary? How long does it have to be before? This is an interesting thing.
Okay.
So
in today's society, like next week, because when a show comes out on Netflix, Prime, Paramount, well, not Paramount, but a lot of, I was actually listening to a podcast, the Tom Papa, what's her name?
Wait, you weren't listening to The Men Are Talking?
Fortune. It's not a podcast. It's a show on XM Radio. Tom Papa and Fortune. I can't remember her last name. but she's in the new FUBAR with
Schwarzenegger.
Take my hand. It's a bomb. Get to the chopper.
Schwarzenegger.
And
Arnold.
one of her
The
co-stars
Governor.
was talking about. He started to tell a story about it. He goes, you know what? It all comes out at once. It's. There is none.
But
Now, like Into the Spider-Verse or Across the Spider-Verse, that would be a spoiler because that's only in theaters. So I think it changes from theater to
streaming.
Yeah.
But is the gal you're talking about Monica Barbaro?
No, her name is
Fortune Feimster or Feimster?
Feimster. Yeah.
Feimster, okay.
Yeah.
Fortune 500.
So let's let Bill continue and let him do his.
Well, you know when we.
May I interrupt?
Again?
Yes. Did we pick? I'm sorry, I'm not Heidi, but did we pick a year?
Good.
I would say if
Oh, you mean as
I would say at worst, if a movie's been out 10 years and you
Yeah.
haven't seen it, boom, you're done.
But I want to talk about Heat now.
I would go. Right, I would go
Jim Gaffigan.
I would go as little as 5 years.
Yeah.
But if you haven't seen it and it's 10 years old,
It's on you.
so sorry.
I would say
once it's available on DVD.
Right.
Or
what
beta.
are those?
If it's
I
on
understand,
beta.
but hang on. But you don't have a job.
So
You have plenty
Really?
of time to watch movies.
Really? Or is this a too soon moment? There's no laughs.
no, why would that have anything to do with it?
The reason I ask is I myself personally hate spoilers. I avoid internet. I don't even like to watch trailers just because my mind goes, oh, they're mini spoilers to me. My mind pieces together where that scene's coming up. So
I'm
For
the
me,
exact
I was
opposite.
gonna say I go with Bill on this one, and you can go ahead and say
Yeah,
it.
I'm the exact opposite. I will be watching a movie and I'm like, shit, I don't have time to finish this right now, but I want to find out how it ends. I know there's, what is it, IMDb?
Yes.
But I usually go to the Wikipedia page because you click a button that says plot, tells you about it, and I'll still go back and watch it even if I know the ending. Now, yeah, Fourth Sense, Sixth Sense, those not so much. But most movies, if it's and the original UPC agreed as well, if it's a good movie, spoilers don't affect it.
Correct.
I understand they take a little bit away, and it does. I mean, especially that with a twist. What's his
Shyamalan.
name?
Yeah.
Shyamalan. Yeah, Ding Dong. And his movies, yeah. I don't want a spoiler alert because it's a twist at the end.
Sure.
But by and large,
Agreed.
I don't mind a plot.
And she was
wait, plot or large?
Well, we're not talking about
large.
we're not talking about Tom Papa's partner again, are we? Well, no, she
No,
will.
that was Emo Phillips.
She's by and large, and she will. Fortune will agree with me on that. So, when we started tonight, we were sitting around. There's no sports on to speak of on local networks, and so there's no hockey. There's no playoffs. We're in that lull where Matt excels, where Ferg excels in baseball. Because that's pretty much that golf and racing sports are on. We were watching clips of comedy shows tonight, and we were watching Jiminy Click. What's it like? I don't know. And when we came, we had come up with this idea of what to talk about a couple days ago. And Larry came in and he goes, I'm drawing a blank, like, I've never seen a movie where, like, you don't have a job. We know that's not true. and I was kind of in the same boat. I was like, we're not going to talk about Star Wars, Star Trek. That's going to be its own show. Look forward to it. And I couldn't, and I'm trying to think, memorable moments, memorable lines. And all of a sudden, everything popped into my head as everybody started talking, and we're watching Jim and
Everything? Everywhere,
everything.
all at once.
Great movie. Oh, that's
It's amazing.
So good.
2 came to mind
Spoiler alert.
Yes.
with the same
It's good.
co-star,
Ooh.
Elizabeth Shue.
Oh, okay then.
1 was from Leaving Las Vegas.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my god.
Nicolas
Yes.
Cage will be in anything. And good
Jinx.
for you, Nicholas. But God, that's a great movie.
It
I
is.
It's
only
fantastic.
remember one scene from it, and it's memorable. It's not my favorite. It's after the gangbang scene, and she's in the shower, and there's red water running down the drain. I remember that, and I remember Nicolas Cage, trying to drink himself to death. They're both trying to leave Las Vegas, but
In different
2
ways.
completely different ways and reasons. I remembered that. The second one, and it's a line that I use quite often. Not often. I took voice and diction. Often. It's like my speech teacher said, it's not forehead, it's forehead. And I said, whatever, dumbed. And I didn't get a good grade that semester.
Hang on, I need a second.
That's true. True story. The second one is from probably a lesser known film starring the effervescent Elizabeth Shue before she was melted by the boys. In The Boys. God, nobody saw that coming. But she was with the ever-present Val Kilmer in The Saint.
There we go.
And he's trying to get to her to get this secret formula for
Cold fusion.
cold fusion. And thank you. So maybe it's not so little known.
Cold-
of a movie.
Cold
that movie.
cold
By the
fusion,
way,
fusion.
Great movie.
In both movies, she looks amazing in a bra and panties. Good God. Elizabeth Shue still looks amazing in a bra and panties.
Beautiful girl.
I should
Good
probably
actress.
untie her, but there's one scene in that movie.
It's called Retire.
I've heard it both
Right.
There are multiple scenes in that movie, like where Val Kilmer's wearing the mask and he's got the butt teeth. He's like,
Yeah.
he's really smart, It's at the end. But earlier in the movie, when he's trying to meet her and he's acting like
Thomas More.
He's acting like one of his characters, one of his persona is an artist, a sketch artist. And he meets her in like the Louvre. I don't know where they're at. I have no idea. And he sees she's leaving. He runs out, puts a trench coat on, grabs a bottle of wine or champagne, breaks it on the sidewalk next to him. Might have even cut himself. I can't remember. And he's got a picture of her sketched, and he's laying in a doorway like a stumbling, bumbling drunk. And I think it's Val Kilmer's best line ever. He just looks up at her, and in this drunken stupor, homeless artist voice goes, "Do you like it?" And he says, "Do you like it?" And that movie is what, 25 years old?
At least.
At least, yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I will do something around the house or buy somebody something or fix something, and then I'll just look at them and go, "Do you like it?" And I just can't believe that we're sitting here and I'm drawing a blank and 2 Elizabeth Shue movies come to mind. And
Well,
I
she's
thought
hot.
she was Asian. For the longest time, I didn't know who Elizabeth Shue was. Like Mushu Gaipan.
Yeah,
Elizabeth Shue.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got
we
it.
could.
No,
We got it. We got it.
You're a racist, I get it.
Yeah.
and not,
But my God, I've been sitting here, and one thing I have to say, and I think I mentioned this on the Men Are Talking is when you hit 50 or close
Wait,
to
you're
that.
on the Men Are Talking?
No, I'm
That's
sorry.
a great podcast, I hear.
Men on Film. That episode, I brought this up. That as you get older, you're drawn to Turner Classic Movies. I think it's a gene kicks in and you start watching movies. And God, I could go on and on about is Steve McQueen and Dustin Hoffman and Papillon. That's where Rain Man came from. That character from Papillon that Dustin Hoffman did is where Rain Man came from.
At least 3 times in that movie, he mentions when Wapner's going to be on.
yeah. And that's why Steve McQueen jumps over the cliff.
I'm an excellent driver.
Sand Pebbles. I've seen that movie in the last 5 years 3-4 times. I've watched that movie. Matt's getting a booty call right now,
which is fantastic. No, Robert
never happens.
Robert Wise directed the
by the way,
movie.
Matt.
Hey,
who? What? I'm sorry.
Robert Wise directed Sand Pebbles. Amazing.
Yeah, it's just, God, that movie is so good. And then we were just, when Heidi was out here, we were joking, and I said, Mowage, and all of a sudden I'm like, holy shit. One of the other scenes I love, and it's one of my favorites because it's stupid funny, is, okay, 2. One is The Fifth Element, which is my second all-time favorite sci-fi movie, but it's also a comedy. And Chris Tucker,
Yep.
lollies, follies, and lick'em lollies, and he's like, pew, pew, pew. And he's doing that deal, walking down, and the girls are just fading. And then the other one, I just escaped my mind, so I'll pass it back to Larry.
Well, I'm gonna say one thing that I'm surprised you didn't say the line from Dune.
Oh my God, I am so sorry. I am verklempt. When Stilgar, who, by the way, in the new Dune, which the second installment will be out November 4th, I believe. Go watch it.
Yeah.
Larry and I have a mandate that night, and we went and watched the first one together, and it was amazing. It's but in the original, Stilgar, who you're just introduced to at the end of the first one, and it's been two and a half years. It's not, spoiler alert. He's a little normally small guy because they're desert people and they hide under the sand and all this. In the original, Stilgar is this giant 6'4" motherfucker who has this booming voice. And Kyle MacLachlan, Paul Atreides, Muad'Dib, why did I just forget the other name they call him? Usul. Tell me of your homeworld, Usul, which is the base of the pillar, which is what Usul means.
And Kisaf Hara.
And he is the Kwisatz Haderach. And he looks at Stilgar and he says, Stilgar, do we have worm sign? And I'll admit I've jerked off to this. Stilgar says, we have worm sign the likes that God himself has never seen. And I'm like,
That was outstanding. That was excellent.
All right.
Thank you, Larry.
You're
for allowing
welcome.
me to do
You're
that.
welcome.
I didn't really jerk off.
Now,
I just rubbed one.
I don't get it.
I have one thing to say about the new Dune movie.
Please.
The one thing that I found wrong with it, just one.
Oh, wow. All right, let's go.
It ended.
Oh, yeah. Agreed. I don't know this. I don't know this for sure. I have not researched it at all. Maybe our film historian can look it up for us. But someone told me that, of course, the movie was recorded digitally, as all movies are now.
Yep.
That once it was done and finished filming, that the director actually recorded the movie with a film camera to get the get it to look like
The
film.
feel.
So
Yeah.
you're saying you think he refilmed the digital version? Interesting. That would seems to me that it would be difficult
Yeah.
to
yeah.
get the effect, but
Yeah.
I had
Well-
not heard that,
well,
but
That would
Look
make
that-
a lot of
look
sense,
that
though.
up.
I will
Yeah.
look that up.
But that is going to allow me to take my turn
That absolutely.
after everyone else has had their 3.
Can I say?
Oh,
I got
sure,
another
Paul.
one.
Go
Can I say
ahead.
one more thing?
4 or 5.
Not to be a know-it-all, but I promise, in the context of the movie The Saint, which I love, what Val Kilmer says is, "Oh, who will she like?" And he says, "Perhaps Thomas More." And that's when he puts on the wig, and he's standing there sketching, and then he tries to kind of be seductive, and then he goes and he hits himself in the head with the thing.
That's right. He hit himself in the head.
There you go. And then just one more point about the Saint, which I love. On TV, the Saint was played by which James Bond?
Roger Moore.
There
Roger
you go.
Moore.
And at the end of the movie, when Val Kilmer and Elizabeth Shue are driving off very
Yeah.
romantically because she has shared her cold fusion
Formula.
with
Cold
the
fusion.
Is that
world.
what they're calling it now?
There's a radio announcer, and the radio announcer is Roger Moore.
No shit.
Beautiful little coda
throwback,
there.
yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, since Paul interrupted, before Larry starts,
Oh wait, Michael had an interruption too. He said.
this will be super quick.
It'll be later after everyone's gone.
Before-
'Cause I got one more.
If you go see Dune, you don't, or when you go see
There
Dune,
you go.
you don't have to see it in IMAX. The only thing that you're really going to miss in IMAX is the Ornithopter once or twice, which are amazing, and the IMAX headache that you'll walk out with. Basically.
All right, so can I go?
Sure.
Can I have my turn?
Sure.
All right. So we'll start out with one of my favorite movie lines ever, which was said by the great Sam Elliott in the, for whatever reason, Oscar shunned masterpiece Roadhouse. when they're fighting on the loading dock, and he comes down and breaks this guy's knee, and the guy's flailing on the ground, holding his knee, and Sam Elliott leans over him, brushes his hair out of his eyes, and goes, "God damn, that hurts, don't it?" Love it.
Great.
Love it. Love it. All right, and as far as
Outstanding quote. Outstanding.
another movie line, when in the movie Tombstone, Johnny Ringo's going to meet Wyatt Earp for their final shootout, and Johnny's calling out, and then you hear, "I'm your Huckleberry,"
There you go.
and just shivers.
Right.
Just shivers. It's like, holy. And what follows, though not one of my favorite, or not my choice for my favorite movie scene, but is one of the greatest movie scenes ever. The whole interaction between him and Johnny Ringo.
Yep.
The whole, you want to play for blood. That's just my game.
Yeah.
Just the fact that Val Kilmer didn't win an Academy Award
Is
for that is
Travis.
well, also is actually considered in Hollywood to be one of the biggest Oscar snubs ever,
Agreed.
because he wasn't even nominated.
Agreed.
this is just
He was
dumb.
outstanding.
Yeah, you want to interrupt me?
Yeah, I do
Go
want to
for
interrupt
it.
you. It's about that line, "I'm your
Oh,
Huckleberry."
yeah.
It's men are talking.
Are you gonna tell me what Huckleberry is?
No, actually.
That's a dingleberry.
There is a I don't know, a theory or whatever that he actually says originally, and this might be one of those like weird things, but it's I'm your Huckleberry, and it got heard as Huckleberry, and it just worked, and they redid it or whatever. But it's a in the movie, it's kind of difficult to tell if it's Hucklebearer or Huckleberry.
Right.
And the Hucklebearer is someone who carries the casket.
Right.
'Cause the
Pallbearer.
The pallbearer, because the knobs were called Huckles.
Right.
So I
So
came across
yes,
that a
you
little.
were going to tell that.
Interesting.
Was.
So would it
not
be
Huckleberry? But
so would
yeah,
it
I
be
guess
Hucklebearer?
It'd be Hucklebearer.
Hucklebearer as opposed to Huckleberry. Interesting.
Kind of like the time that I called you Lars and Heidi thought I said Lair Bear.
That's getting edited.
Unbelievable.
You had to bring it up.
I'll
He
be your
says,
lawyer.
"Had to."
That's getting edited.
Yeah, make a note of that, Paul,
You
because
got
he's going to edit that shit.
All right. Well,
But
so,
I will say about that movie, we were in the trail one time. Dave was bartending.
What?
And that movie came on, and I said,
Yep.
I don't think I've ever seen this movie in its entirety. And he looked at me and goes, "Get the fuck out of my bar." So I sat there till 2 in the morning and watched the movie. And that's my
And
bar.
you were glad you did.
Oh,
Yeah.
and I had seen it, but never sat. And there are so many movies.
I have a
like
couple
that.
movies like that.
I own on DVD the extended version, which the stuff they cut out was friggin' awesome. That it should not have been cut out. There's like an extra 35 minutes, and yeah.
I mean,
It's
that movie's
really
already
good.
long.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's over 3 hours. The extended version.
No, I was gonna say, okay, the extended
So-
version, sure.
So
Yeah.
there's an extended version where they add all of that in.
Yeah, where they put it all back in.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I did not know about that.
Excuse me, may I use the bathroom?
As
Thank you.
Yes, sir. You may.
far as favorite scene goes, this is gonna sound like cheating, but only if you haven't seen it. Because if you've seen it, you know the entire everything involving Lloyd Benson. Is that his name? No.
well, that was a senator.
No, Lloyd.
Bridges.
Bridges?
Lloyd Bridges.
Okay. There
Ev-
Yeah,
ev-
he said it. He's
ev-
just
yeah,
quiet.
every scene involving Lloyd Bridges in the original Hot Shots. Every one of them.
undeniable.
Or airplane.
Undeniable.
No.
I picked the wrong.
Undeniable.
Wrong
No,
news.
but
Hot
Blue.
shots are
also
No,
Joe
Hot Shots.
Joe versus the volcano. He's ridiculously good.
Yeah, but everything in Hot Shots. Hawaii. How are you, sir? Hawaii? Hell, I'm supposed to be in California. Yes.
As my mom would say, what did Delaware? Idaho, Alaska.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. No,
We tell bad jokes here, not
the part where he stumbles down the stairs. He goes, "Did you guys see that? Slipped on a crab. As a matter of fact, there were 2 of them. They always work in pairs. Don't question me. I went to Annapolis. Just.
Fantastic.
My hat blew off. Turn the ship around. We can't turn the ship around.
That
What do
is-
you mean? It's my favorite hat.
That is glory. No,
Okay,
glorious.
put someone in a boat. They can circle it. We'll come back and pick them up on the way back. Sir, we can't do that. We don't have enough time. What are you talking about? We'll record his favorite shows.
That's fantastic.
Just phenomenal.
Sir,
All right.
we don't have a bridge. We have a tower.
All right. So, Ferg,
Well, I know why I'm going last again.
Why
is
is
it
that?
porn?
Well,
Look,
but no,
shaving Ryan's pride.
It's right
But-
out.
but I was gonna say,
Your
like,
favorite
most
scene?
memorable scenes. Let's face it, Phoebe Cates coming out of the pool
Oh,
Yep.
yay.
and Sharon Stone crossing her legs.
Yep.
Well,
I mean,
Uncrossing her legs.
And
I've heard it both ways.
I've
watched
seen it both ways because I've
once.
watched it many times.
and it
See
sounds
the
like
movie on HBO when you were 12 and you could scramble and go, it's an elbow or a boob.
Yeah.
He seems to be okay with either formulation.
It works.
But I'm going to go with another line from Val Kilmer.
Wow.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Wow. I hope you're listening, buddy.
Yeah. And
Much
again,
love.
it's same movie. It's right after Wyatt Earp runs into the water and just starts shooting everybody, and
Oh.
and like and then they have the little thing in the middle of the water, and he kills them, and everything. Well, someone's saying like, "Wow, have you ever seen anything like that?" And, Doc Holliday's all like, "Ain't nobody ever seen nothing like that." And then he's like, "Oh, don't get me wrong. It's not revenge. It's a reckoning." And then he just starts coughing, and someone's like, "Well, damn, Doc, what are you doing out here? You ought to be in bed. You're sick." And he goes, "Well, Wyatt Earp is my friend." He goes, "Well, hell, I got lots of friends." I don't.
Yep.
And,
That is a great line.
yeah.
That is a
And,
great line.
It's just,
That is a great line.
and it's like, wow, that's.
Yeah, there's a lot in that. Absolutely. That's a great line.
That whole movie's funny.
Oh yeah, Tombstone's just like from start to finish, and like, apparently there's like almost a whole other hour I've never seen. I'm gonna need to borrow that.
Okay.
But yeah, then I don't know. There's other great lines like I'm not even gonna name the movie because you all know it. Our amps go to 11.
Correct.
Let's go
Well,
through that.
why don't you just make your amps louder and keep it at 10? No, but ours go to 11.
Let's go to
We're
11.
we're one louder.
It's just one loud.
We're one louder.
To 11 blown out of speaker.
But we're one louder. You don't understand. I mean, it's
That
just like
is-
it's such a like dumb, stupid line.
Yeah,
It's
but-
fabulous.
but it's great.
It's perfect.
And then it's such a throwaway line. And if you're not paying attention, you totally miss it. But it's from Tommy Boy. And they're about to get pulled over. And so he says, just follow my lead. And so they pull over in the middle of the field. They both get out, and they're just flailing their arms and like start rolling around on the ground. The bees! The bees! And like both cops are like, well, I'm allergic to bees. So am I. So, and
Oh no,
And-
I'm
and he-
thinking of Black Sheep.
Me
and-
too.
and he just yells, "Your firearms are useless against them."
So would you rank that line
Here or
here?
Yeah,
Or
mostly here, like right here.
I knew it.
Yeah. The one I was thinking about was in Black Sheep, where they borrowed his friend's car with the nitrous, and they get pulled. The cop pulls him over on the interstate, and he's like, "Do you know how fast you were going?" "Well, this guy's got a whatever motor and nitrous oxide, probably 70, 75." And the cop looks at him and goes, 7.
7 miles an hour.
But
Because the nitrous had been leaked.
Right.
but there's another line from Tommy Boy. They're at the gas station, and he realizes he pulled up on the wrong side. The gas tank's on the other side. So he starts to like back out, and he totally bends the car door.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so he pushes it back in, gets it all back in place, then gets over into the passenger side. David Spade comes out, opens the door, and the door just falls right off. He goes, "What'd you do?"
Do you know how many times I've said the line, fat guy in a
Oh,
loco?
loco.
Yeah.
But like, how many times I've said, "What'd you do?"
Point of order from an earlier point someone made about Dune. And not to get too technical, but
Obviously, you're going to.
Well, a little
it's
bit.
like not to be racist,
Okay,
but
there's nothing untoward about what I'm going to say. So there's a company called Aeroflex who made film cameras forever,
oh, okay.
and then they try to keep up with the digital revolution, which they have. And so Dune was shot on an Aeroflex digital camera, then transferred to 35 millimeter, and then scanned back to digital for
Stop
theaters.
it, I'm hard.
Okay.
Anyway, so I don't know exactly the process. I was trying to figure out exactly how they did it, but they transferred the film rather than sort of putting it on a screen and shooting it, to give it a more of a film grain, which is one of those things moviegoers are used to. And it's not that digital isn't really good. Sometimes, in some sense, it's too good. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just wanted to make sure we
Yeah,
covered that.
It's like when the 120 hertz TVs first came out, and you'd walk into someone's house and go, why does NCIS look like a soap opera?
Yeah, I don't want to see. I don't want to see his pores.
The first time I watched like Star Wars on a 4K TV, it looked like I was back in the 70s watching Doctor Who. It looked all like on set, and so it was very weird.
Bad.
Yeah, that.
Speaking of, since we're talking movie lines, what is it that Vader is constantly saying?
We'll discuss that in another episode.
I understand that, but it's a crossover to this.
Oh.
As You Wish. Princess Bride, a movie that we all know and love and cherish. And what does Wesley say as he falls down the hill? And what does he say to Buttercup every time? As you wish. And what does he mean by that?
I love you.
I love you.
Ooh.
Darth Vader saying, I love
Very
you.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I had not thought of that.
I
That's
don't-
very impressive.
Don't think that word means what you think that word means.
You keep using that. Inconceivable.
And another great line that just popped into my head.
Yes.
It's from across the pond. Our friends in
Is that
Monty
a movie?
Python. No,
Oh.
it's from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Like
when
the whole
when they're trying to figure out if the
I fart in
woman's
your
a
general
witch.
direction.
And they're trying to come up with all these ways to figure it out. And,
What?
the King Arthur screams out, "A duck!" And he goes, "So if she weighs the same as a duck, she's obviously a witch, and she does weigh the same as a duck." So her day's ruined. But then Sir Bedivere walks up to King Arthur and goes, "Oh, who is he who is so wise in the ways of science?" And
I'm King Arthur, King of the Britons.
My liege!
It's so hilarious.
But just thinking back of what was once considered science.
100%.
Yes, Michael.
Little
Well,
rocks.
another line popped into my head like a long time ago, and I forgot it until just now again.
In a galaxy far, far away?
But it was pretty much that. And the movie
You
is
actually read that.
called
Nobody actually says it.
Kiss of Death. It's Nicolas Cage
Oh my
and,
god.
and a young David
Witness.
Crusoe. I mean,
Mhm.
this is like
Yes.
early on. And David Crusoe just gets out of
I
jail.
didn't know he had two movies.
Right. so
What's
he
the
just
other
gets out
one?
of jail. It's
It's
kind of
got
a
lots of not
it's kind
good
of like
movies.
a mob movie, and Nicolas Cage is like the son of the big guy, and so apparently they went to do something, and David Crusoe has been a stand-up guy. So Nicolas Cage is getting out of the car, and I'm sorry, David Crusoe is getting out of the car. Nicolas Cage says, "Hey, hold on a second." Says what? Well, one time we need to go just out for a night and talk about life and shit. And it was just like the way he said it at the time. It's just like not enough people just talk about life and shit. Which is why
I know the other David Caruso movie now.
I was thinking David Duchovny.
But because he played Snickers in Hudson Hawk.
Oh my God, that's right.
Oh,
There's
he
two
was.
movies. Yeah, okay,
Yes.
so three movies.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, then what was the second?
That
Well-
what was it, Jade?
Jade.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, but also
that was the one that he quit CSI Miami because he was going to be a big movie star.
Yeah, how'd that turn out?
And
Not
then-
so good.
but then
Wait
he's
a minute,
also-
I have sunglasses on.
if you have seen Officer and a Gentleman, he is the officer candidate who panics underwater.
How did we not mention that Jack Nicholson, Tom Cruise exchange?
Because everyone knows it.
I
That's a good
use that in my training classes all the time.
You can't handle the truth.
You need me on a, yeah.
So,
Is
would
I have a question.
oh,
Yeah.
do you?
If you were acting in a movie
Mm.
and and your director came up and said, I need crocodile tears. I need you to cry. And I need it to be as real can be. Is there a line?
As a member of the Men Are Talking, I'm going to say, I can't cry.
Well,
Okay, but I'm
because
Phil.
Because you
did
don't want to
when
get
the
called a
unemployment
pussy.
Ran out.
I didn't.
Phil,
I built a shed.
there could be at least one.
Is there a line
At least one
that
mention.
you could think of or say to yourself that would make you shed crocodile tears?
No, but playing taps.
Oh, okay. Playing
That
tap.
does it.
I mean,
Well,
Just so you guys know, 10-minute warning.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Right.
why I gave a one-liner. First of all, I'll go ahead. No, 10 minutes.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and say I will disregard anything from Doctor Who because I will cry like a blubbering baby. But the
I
line
have to
that
say it?
gets me in this movie has not. I mentioned it in jest, but a movie that has not been brought up, seen, and there are so many good ones, is Saving Private Ryan. At the end, when Matt Damon's character is standing at Arlington, and he's standing there looking at Tom Cruise's character's tombstone.
Tom Cruise?
Tom, God.
Tom Hanks?
Heidi's would be talk to me, Goose, and then she just starts crying. Since 1986, she's been crying about that.
It's one of the Toms.
It is. Tom Hanks.
Tom
when
Hardy?
She's looking at when Matt Damon's character is looking at Tom Hanks' headstone and his family's in the background, his wife is sitting next to him, and he just says something to the effect of, "Tell me I'm a good man. Tell me I earned this. Tell me I deserve
Tell me
this.
I led a good life.
Tell me I lived a good life." I can skip the entire movie, go to the last minute and a half of that movie, and I'm done. I am done. Heidi is Talk to Me, Goose. And when we went to see the movie Maverick, at the beginning of the movie, 5 minutes in, she was already crying in the theater when...
I finally broke down and watched that like 2 days ago.
What'd you think of it?
Better than I thought.
Did
you
you
go.
cry
No.
when he
Oh,
said talk to
evidently
me
Heidi's
goose?
back.
Oh,
When
we're
he
getting
said,
a
"Talk
double
to me,
interrupt.
goose."
Heidi's here.
We're getting a double interrupt.
It's fantastic.
But according to Bill Murray in the movie The Man Who Knew Too Little, but so when you have to cry, what you just think in your head, my dog is dead. My dog is dead.
No, that,
You know, but
no, that
so I'll go with that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I feel like something that should have mentioned because I just saw it not too long ago. Again, for probably the 400th time. The Martian. Matt Damon has a ton of great lines in that movie.
he does.
Just when he's doing his diary or his log or whatever, and just a ton of really good stuff. And
I couldn't agree more. I think you're right. Can I can I ask our great Gazoo? Because we're getting a little late here. How about just one lightning round of one more line?
sounds good.
I love it.
Excellent.
Sounds good. All right, Bill.
I can't. I'm not. I gotta think.
Okay, Michael.
Really? Damn it.
Okay, Bird.
That's a great line, by the way.
All right, Paul.
So in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, if I could be, well, first of all, if I could be Robert Redford, I mean, well, whatever. But there's a scene where Butch uses too much dynamite to blow up this new safe because it's so formidable, and he puts all this dynamite on it, and they light it, and not only does the safe blow up, but the whole train car blows up, and all the money in the safe starts to rain down, and that knocks everyone over, including Butch and Sundance. And Sundance rolls over and goes, "You think you used enough dynamite there, Butch?" It is so hilarious. It blows my mind, and I love it. And there's a bunch of really good, cute lines
That's
in
your
that
one.
movie.
It's a lightning round.
I understand, but you think
That's
you used
it.
enough dynamite there, Butch?
Yeah,
Okay.
Michael.
I got one. And not that it's a specific movie, but I have a shirt that says this, and I was just like, oh, that's one of the best used lines in any movie because it fits so many things. And the line is, "Let's get out of here." Romantic? Hey, let's get out of here. Horror? Let's get out of here. Comedy? Hey, what's going on? Let's get out of here and do something else. I mean, it's just so versatile.
All purpose.
All purpose.
Fantastic.
Let's get out of here.
Love
All
it.
right, Bill.
Oh, I'm gonna. Can you please use the word Matt and just call me it now?
Pussy?
Thank you. Meg Ryan, Tom Hanks, you wanted me. I wanted it to be you. I wanted it to be you so badly. It's just the perfect line and they use proper grammar. And I don't know why that has stuck with me for fucking forever. So, I'm a pussy.
All right,
Yes, you are.
Bird.
Well, again, it's been used in countless movies.
Give me that pussy.
I said movies.
Not videos.
Right. Movies last more than 12 minutes.
No, they're 60 minutes.
Oh, right, sorry.
You don't
sorry.
last more than 12 minutes.
I've heard it both ways. Anyway, the line I was going to say was, "That's so crazy, it just might work."
All right.
Well, so if any movie has that line in it, turn it off. It's a shit movie.
Fair warning.
All right. So mine is going to be from the first John Wick, and it is the scene with John Leguizamo. Right after he punches Vigo's son,
Vigo.
and one of Vigo's buddies comes up and goes, wait till we tell his dad. And John Leguizamo looks at him and goes, I'll tell you one thing, he's going to understand. And right then, you just go, oh.
Because he does understand.
Oh, yeah, because after the phone call, he punches his son.
Exactly.
And lets his son know, hey, you're going to die. There's nothing I can do about it. He's going to kill you. You did this.
And he does.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Excellent
All right,
choice.
on spoiler alert, we are going to call it. So everyone, thank you for joining us again this week. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any comments or questions, please drop them down below, or as Derek Bieri on Vice Grip Garage would say, bleep bloop them down below. Thank you again. We'll see you next week, where our topic is going to be, and everyone is learning this right now with you guys, because they don't know. Next week, our topic is going to be song lyrics.
All right.
Ooh.
Exciting.
Look forward to it.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Look, I'm a little drunk, okay?